2023. Stop issuing threats over Igbo presidency. Yakasai tackles Ckles. Welcome to the news and please subscribe to our channel. Please, for more updates, click on your notification button. Another statesman, Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, on Thursday cautioned a fellow elder statesman, Chief Edwin Ckles, against issuing threats when contributing to national discourse. Okay, they are going to start telling Uncle Ckles or Pa Ckles to stop using the Busky words. He always comes out and sometimes he says things that people wants to hear. You know, he says things that are actually for the benefit of, the whole Nigeria. Sometimes he says that, but sometimes the manner in which he says them, some people, they might feel this one you're coming out to always say this and say this and say this, and the manner you say. So a lot of people. Okay, let's see. Maybe he said one recently. Of course, he has always been in the news. He's always not to see. The news in detail, please stay with us. Yakasai, who is in his late night, is cautioned Ckles in a statement titled "An Appeal to the Elderly Nigerians for Constructive Engagement in National Discourse," and made available to the Punch in Kano. He said, "I wish to comment on a statement credited to my good friend Chief Ckles and published in the media concerning the path of a country that should produce our president in the coming presidential election in 2023. My comment is predicated on the interview granted by one of my old friends, Chief Edwin Ckles. The part of a statement that incurred my displeasure is where Chief Ckles issued a veiled threat on the issue of unity and peaceful coexistence affecting different communities living together in our country. According to the statement, Yakasai, who was a former senior advisor on National Assembly matters to ex-President Shehu Shagari, observed that in most of Ckles' comments on important national discourse, the other statesmen issued some kind of threats about the unity and peace in our country. Yakasai said, Chief Ckles is not the only other statesman that issues short threats on unity and peaceful coexistence in our country. There is another elder statesman who is also a friend of mine and who is fond of resorting to threats when discussing national issues. I think at our age we should avoid resorting to threats whenever we are discussing national issues. What is expected of people at our age is to provide leadership by way of offering advice and correcting any mistake we discovered made by younger Nigerians and the course of national discourse. Threats are not expected from senior citizens in any country. What is expected of senior citizens is leadership, moderation, and guidance. At the age of more than 100 years of existence as a united country, what Nigeria needs from the leaders is maturity in any discussion, so that those of us with an advancement in age would be moderation and exemplary leadership to the younger generation. Threats, Yakasai emphasized, does not fall into the category expected of people who are on their way to celebrating their centenary. He therefore appealed to fellow elderly colleagues to please watch the language when contributing in an important national discourse, stressing that will make the contribution more positive in moving our nation forward than disuniting it. Well, let me say this. What Mr. Ckles is saying is right. I think this person is just trying to pass a message. If you see, he's not even calling out to say he said this and he said that. He's only saying enough of you, enough of the threats, enough of, how they say these things. And true. There's actually a saying that said that if you look at all the conflicts we have, it's actually tone. It's actually the tone of your voice that causes it. If you look at the fight, it will be, you're the one that shouted at me, you're the one that raised your voice and all that. But at the end of the day, all he's saying, he's not saying that what Mr. Ckles is saying is actually wrong. He's saying here that they should actually, make whatever they're saying, say it in a very calm manner, and so that it is going to sink in. Do you know that because of what or how the manner Pa Ckles also come out to make outbursts? People don't, as in whenever he talks, people like, who is this one? Somebody should tell this man to calm down, and But at the end of the day, like I said, he's not saying that what Mr. Ckles or Pa Ckles is saying is wrong. Okay. I'm also going to say this now. It is actually very, very alike of a North to come out and say this. Yes, yes, yes. The Northerners always come out to say in the Constitution this is not found whenever such issues arise. But they have also refused to speak up concerning, the injustice in Nigeria. And let me say this, if you're not talking about the injustice in Nigeria, you're not adding your voice to say enough is enough. You are actually part of a problem. If you're not a solution to the problem, they say you are the problem. Yakasai, as an elder statesman as you claim to be, why not for the sake of equity and fairness, speak out that it should be the turn of the Southeast to be president of Nigeria? It is a failure to act like a true statesman that is breeding threats. You Fulani are problems. You want to conquer Igbos, and the ways you conquer the North and some Yoruba impossible. Soon, Nigeria will divide. Okay. Can two work together except they agree? Nigeria needs peace, unity, and progress. And only equity, fairness, rule of law can guarantee that. Let us avoid threats, but rather seek for compromise position to keep our country great again. To keep our great country together. For the first time in decades, Yakasai has spoken like a statesman. Nigerians would love to see him talk about equity and justice, which is the cause of all these divergent positions. Exactly. Nigeria belongs to all Nigerians. As an elder, as he said, he has to be seen to lead the path to one Nigeria. So keeping quiet when things that are not breeding unity of Nigeria should also stop. You should lend your voice and actually come out and say, if this thing is right, it is right. If it is wrong, it is wrong. If the threat affects you so much, then tell your folks to listen to this, and have sense of reasoning. Nigeria is too fragile. Exactly. I totally agree. At this point, to allow greed and egocentric politicians to tear us apart. One thought at this stage of your life, you should tell the truth no matter what. Whose ox is God? This time, the presidential aspirant should be all Southerners' affairs. In 2015, Nigerians stood up for the Northerners. Your wise counsel and advice should be your rich endowment at this time. Okay, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of the day.